That was, yeah, sorry about that. And so, yeah, so that's my, and you start kind of layering these. Now, the daily RSI hit 23, a low level it had only hit twice in the last 3 years, right? And both of those levels mark the actual bottom and the last macro bottom we had. Here you can see for yourself. So, like, I put the yellow line and I attached it to where this hit. And you can see we almost hit it there, but we did not. The only time we crossed it there and hit it there was the absolute bottom for Bitcoin at 15,000. And then that bottom there, I think it was around 30K. And then here we are, and then these lows, which were definitely buy zones right there. And so to me, I don't know, one, two, three times in 3 years. So that coupled with, the other indications is pretty strong, right? And then the fear and greed index hitting 10, which I haven't seen, only nine one time in my life. That was when they said that building was going to get, like, that nuclear building was going to explode in Ukraine or something at like 4 in the morning. It's a historical low for fear to reach and must be considered as a DCA. So, as in conclusion, anyone who's not considering a strong DCA into Bitcoin is just not using clear logic. Emotions will scare you away from the best buys in history over and over again. The charts never lie. I recently just bought a whole Bitcoin at 84K, and I'm not looking back. If you like this post, you can follow me here, right? And watch our YouTube channel or join the trading group. So, like, this is just like, a collection of thoughts that I had. And again, maybe I'm wrong, right? And you might look at it and say, well, okay, that's just your opinion, man, right? Like the Big Lebowski. And you'd be 100% right, right, Alan? Right? You drink, are those nuts? You got some cashews? What are you doing? You got a little. Okay, so, and please follow me on Twitter. I'd greatly appreciate it. So that's like the most I can give you on the macro side for Bitcoin. We'll go over like the days, and then, like, last night you could have just actually kept the trade open that I opened last night. I made multiple trades, right? I just kept paying myself and then getting back in, paying myself, getting back in, getting in there. But that was the trade we opened last night right here, and that thing just continued to moon. Beautiful, right? The Fed got dovish, we got the pump, and things just look like we'll head into some rate cuts later on. And even if they didn't say rate cuts, QE, like they said they were, they used to be, they were selling off, and now they're tapering off how much they're selling, which is basically quantitative easing instead of quantitative tightening. They basically admitted to quantitative easing. That's what I, maybe you heard something different, but that's what I heard, right? Anyway, my other idea is you buy when you cross the 200 MA on the 15-minute time frame. That's all you have to do is right there, buy across the 200 MA. Put a stop loss below, see how far you can take it. I mean, I did it multiple ways. There's so many ways to trade, different strategies. We even kind of looked at like an inverted head and shoulder there. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, right. Anyway, so I hope you made massive gains with me today. If not, it's okay. You'll find a way to keep learning, and I'll teach you, and there'll be so many more opportunities than just today. But remember, we took this for a ride. We took this for a ride, these for a ride. Like anytime there's green, like we even took little moves here. We took a short out of this, right? We took that. Man, we took this for a huge ride. That was paid. So I've been having a really good time trading, and just, anytime there's any little bit of volatility, I'm able to capitalize on it with my system. And I'm even more sensitized to my system than I've ever been. So I can just, the second they give us something, I'm able to maximize on it, make way more than I used to off of smaller moves. I'm able to use larger amounts of money at quicker times. If you watched too, we live streamed twice today. During the Fed meeting, I made $800. Um, you know, Scalping during the Fed meeting on the 1 minute. It's just the trade played out nicely. We got the pump. We were watching like a flag on the 1 minute, and it ended up breaking out. Might have been this flag. No, I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one right here, right? Yeah. We just kept sticking with it. I was long, and then we got the explosive move. I sold around there. It kept moving, then it inside, came back down. I made this like awkward flag that happened to pump, rolled over, and then this puppy that boomed out. And then the whole thing was a flag, right? That I gave you guys on the 15-minute. This is really like the champion of the day there. This call here was this flag I gave you as well, which played out beautifully. Hit the measured move and everything. And just, basically to the T. So today was a great day. Just trade the flag, low stochastic, 21 moving average. And I even give the trades like, if you don't, even if you were a beginner, you had no idea what you were doing. Like last night, I gave the 15-minute trade that just kept moving. Like you could have been in it all day. But this is the trade last night I gave right here, right? Number one, I talked about you could have just bought the 4 hour time frame here and let this pump up, and you would have made gains doing this with the stop loss. That played out. I try to make it real simple for you. Like you don't have like this is you don't even need to know patterns or anything. I just said, hey, like you're making a higher low. Take the 4 hour higher low, right? 4 hour could pump off this higher low. Like that's just trading trend. You're trading trend analysis. You're trading the fact that the 4 hour has put in tweezer bottoms. That's usually going to go and take out the next high because you put in a higher low compared to 1, 2, 3. Anyway, yeah, yesterday 8:55. Right here, right? Let's go, right? This was the trade right here. The 15-minute was in the flag. Stop at 82.3, 82.224. Take profit at 84.8. I mean, that nailed it. That nailed it. So that you could have been in that trade for. And I said I will trade that 100. I thought it was funny Tuesday night, but I'll trade that 100 times I should say Tuesday night, Wednesday night. On Tuesday and Wednesday nights, I'll trade a flag like that 100 out of 100 times. It's a must in my book of probability. It does not mean it will for sure. Nothing does, right? 1 a.m. here, trade safe, right? And then at 142, I'm showing you the thing's breaking out. I'm showing you I'm already up 500 and 200, and then it started to, and I woke up in the morning, it ripped, right? By 6 hours later. So, and gains in our sleep. And then I didn't know when I sold that trade that morning that I was going to make the more gains throughout the day, right? You never know what's going to happen. That's what I love about trading. Like I had no idea that I was going to have the day of trading that we were going to have. I didn't know this 15-minute flag would then break out at 5 o'clock today. The probabilities told me that the good chance, so I gave it. I had a good idea. But so it just by staying optimistic. Remember, I said I believe we're the opportunity, and look what happens. And like I'm telling you right now, I stay optimistic. I stay full of gratitude. I stay grateful, and lo and behold, I find a win, and I seem to keep finding ways to win. And it's not always great. I take hits. I went at it the other day and I had to cut off the trade for 300 a couple times. The big trade there that I usually trade. And then it paid and it finally hit big. But I don't let it get bad. And I don't liquidate myself and I don't say, oh, today it's going to be 10,000 for 50,000 and go all in. I want to do that sometimes and I almost get close. I have the thing and I tell myself, you got to be patient, Sam. Build the account the right way and it will begin to grow and you'll be able to make bigger trades. But do it the right way. If you build your account, if you go after a win too big for where you're at in the account, you'll usually wreck it. You know what I mean? Like if you turn 1,000 into 3,000 and you're doing well, and then you go, I'm gonna go 3,000 for nine now and full port it. Like usually you lose half. And you're like, dang, it took me a month to turn that 1,000 to three, and it took me 4 hours to lose half, And that can really get to your mind. Like you don't want to do moves that get in your head and blow your self-esteem. So by using proper risk management, you stay in the right process of time, right? And knowing when to sell, like knowing when you're away from the 20, like the 1 hour is too far away from the 21-day moving average. See, a lot of people would say, oh, we pumped, now we're dumping again. I'd say, no, we're not. Like we're just doing what we do. Like we got too far from the 21. Like now we just need to come back to it. Like there's no worries. This could even be kind of a cup and handle here. We'll see. And I was waiting in this all day. I thought this would happen here. And then I got the small time frames were able to let me execute. That's why I love the small time frames. They tell me when to chill. They tell me when I can take advantage of the next move. And then I use the bigger time frames to figure out where I am on the to take bigger when I'm in the trade for a while and take, like I opened up the second trade and next thing you know, I was up like 800, 500, then 800, then back down 400. And then I was about to go eat dinner and I was like, man, and I was up like 600. And I was like, I know I'm not going to look at the trade for a little while. I'm going to sit with my kids and eat some dinner. And when I got back, I was up like, 2,500. And I was like, wow, I was like, blessings on blessings. So another trade that I didn't even think was going to be huge. And then it came back down. I took it for like 1,800, but it was up even more. I did spend some good time watching the charts today. Like I was at my desk a good part, a lot of the day. I woke up, did the updates, did the two live streams. Oh, yeah, and then we made money during the live stream too, during both live streams, but specifically during the Fed meeting. So it was just, yeah, my Fed meeting scalps. And again, I'm not trying to be rude. Me, look at all, but I'm just trying to give you guys like a day in the life of a trader. It's just what happened today. It was a good day. And I hope most of you made gains too. I hope it wasn't just me. I hope a lot of you guys took advantage. And if you didn't, don't beat yourself up. Like there's been awesome days of trading that I missed out on, or I've lost a when I know I should have made money. It's okay. Those are lessons that we learn, and we just have to kind of come back. So I see the 1 hour kind of, you know, making some type of flag here and hanging out with the 1 hour time, the 21 SMA. But let's talk about my favorite sign is that the daily got well above the 200 MA, well above it this time. And a broker resistance that could become support. Like we could just SR flip this daily. We could just long right now, even, and just throw a stop like below these candles here and see if you get the support of the 200 MA and the support. I'll see if I can get a little lower with the 1 hour time frame. But yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is what dreams are made of here. Now you could say, well, we hit support. We're going to come back down. And we'll do our top down analysis like we do every day. And we'll take a look at the weekly. So far, even better than before, right? We have tweezer bottoms and then a green candle following through. We can't ask for more. That's great. We want to make it back to liquidity and hit resistance at 93.5, and we get to there and we can go from there. And you can see there's a gap in the VRVP. Do we head back up to 96,000? So 93 and 96 are the next resistance. There's really nothing left if we start to move up. And that looks like a defined bottom finally. 3-day chart had 1, 2, 3 green candles in a row, which is 3 white soldiers. I would expect this next one to be green, but we'll see. It does have somewhat of a shoulder, a head, and possibly a right shoulder that's going to get made there. And then that brings us to the daily time frame. The bullish divergence, which we know is so powerful, kicking in, letting us break through the previous support as resistance, which is very key that you don't always get for bullish divergence. So we want to see if this can hold and bounce, right? And this is where we stand. Remember, there's that hidden bullish on the weekly too, which we've already discussed. It's on the 3-day chart as well. Yeah, and these are supposed to do this, break out, retest, and then break to the upside. The length of that. And that brings you somewhere back to about 104,000. So that's awesome. So here's the deal. If the daily goes back below the 200 MA and back below this level, sad, I'm more of a bear, and it's likely we're going to drop all the way down to wherever this diagonal channel goes, which would take it somewhere down to about $70,000 to $72,000. So that's still possible. It's getting more and more unlikely, but it's still possible. Let's take a look here. Bookmap still suggests that the best liquidation area and the closest is going to be at 88,000 and then up to possibly 95K. There's still the global liquidity down there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go up and hit these that these liquidations disappear and people take profits. I took profits and I had liquidations down there. So I would have been one of those people that you see there, and I'm not there anymore. But even if we zoom in too, you can see though there's liquidity all the way down to 83.5 and 83.6. But the biggest red, the closest red would be at 88,000 for Bookmap. That coincides with a possible move up. So here we stand. We got a monster move on the daily. The candle closed beautifully. And now the next daily is already kind of pulling back. People taking profits, shorts kind of coming in. Are we able to sustain this? It's like the first team runs up in basketball, right? They're up, and now the next team kind of come with that. Are we able to sustain the bear run here with the support? So it's just, for me, we'll get the pullback tonight on the 1 hour things, but can we stay above this key level? If we do, we get the bounce. I'm back in with the stop below these wicks again, and I'm going for that daily to rip with my $100,000 trade and more, right? Away from the 21 on the 22, away from the 21 on the 12, 8 hour, 4 hour away from the 21-day moving average as well. Right now it's in between the 200 and the 22 and the 21, excuse me. Look, you're in here, your 2 hour broke the 200 MA, which is a bullish sign. And there's your 1 hour. So for me, it's just about the 1 hour making that contact with the 21-day moving average, right? Once we get that, there's a good chance we could continue here. The daily seems like it wants to continue to run too as well. Looks like we could have 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. It could be somewhere at 1 or 2 in the morning. Might be a possible entry again. It does. A lot of nights I do have to stay up between 12 and 1 to make really precise entries. I found just on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. But this is something that, and again, it might be even better. It might be more like that. I don't know exactly what it's going to do, but it's got to catch up with that 21-day moving average. And so, yeah, I think we made a perfect sell if anyone got out. And yeah, it's just knowing when to get out is so key. Knowing how to get in when you're near the 200 and near the 21, get out when you're far away from the 21-day moving average. So get in with tight moving averages, out when you're far. And just repeat the process. And what a battle this was from when we first found this flag, right? And this is when I was long. I was long that night because that's one of my signals. And then I had to eat it and get stopped out. I was wrong there, right? It didn't play out. I extended the flag, even though it looked more sketchy. And then they got me on the stop loss. So I wasn't right every time. But that was my only slip up right there. And I nailed basically every other call that we hit, And that epic call last night was great. Still in the money to this. You could still be in that trade from last night. So I see the 1 hour making some type of flag to the 21, and then that's the next flag, the next setup I would put out. And you can project this too and find the setup too with me, So that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. We nailed it, went over how we did it, and then went over where I believe what I believe it's going to do tonight and what it has to do to stay bullish and what we don't want to see if it's bearish, right? We go to the total market cap and all of cryptocurrency. And again, the wick off the 618, get back above the 200 MA, and let's see if we can rally. This is not back above its 200 MA. It's getting resistance right now. So it could make a right shoulder. So unlike Bitcoin, with the power of the altcoins and everything all together, it total did not get back above the 200 MA. Did total 3 get above its 200 MA? It did, which is a good sign, but it's just barely above it. Let's see how we interact with the 21 there. And the same thing with your 1 hour time frame. So if the 1 hour can just, not be so bearish and be a lot more bullish, it can help the other time frames. And it can spell, it can basically tell us what's likely going to happen. Small time frames react quicker, add to the probability. So when you need to know what's going to happen, a smaller time frame is going to give you that fast information. I just like look, shoulder, head, right shoulder, dump, double bottom, pump. Amazing, right? Shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder there. Just fascinating. Patterns play out over time. And again, we'll see now the Bitcoin that I bought at 84,000 is up too now. We'll see what happens. Not a lot, but at one point it was up like 3 grand too. It's awesome when you see that. Now altcoins are getting a revival. Is it time to dive back in? I'd still be a little wary, but coins that I had that I've always liked or believed in, I definitely would be grabbing up, like grab a little more. Solana, Chainlink, you know, I don't know if I even go as risky as Nair. It has to be like Solana. The only coins I really would buy right now, Solana, Chainlink, Atom for staking because it's so low. Maybe some injected protocol too because it tends to get the move, but that tends to get into the risky category. But right now, like for me, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, but the coins I'd be looking to grab, SWI, Atom, SWI, Chainlink, Solana, right? Bitcoin, Ondo, and yeah, SWI, Chainlink, Ondo, Bitcoin, like and like on the very risky side would be Atom and Injective. Yeah. And if you want to get real crazy, like then you're talking everything. Pancake Swap has been hot for whatever. Ton Coin's been hot. So we've it's not all bad out here. All right. There's IP actually down in 7 days, back to 539. Man, internet computer just it's just sitting at this 590 level. I can see it close this gap up to the 200 MA. The 4 hour wants to do it as well. Again, it's at the whim of Bitcoin, right? Everything is. I mean, it's symmetrical. They mainly break down, right? You're almost in a bear flag there too. You like to see Bitcoin get that move up and just pull the whole market with it. Yeah, so I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but I want to make a perfect entry using the 1 hour. It's really how to break it down. And I'm bullish on ICP now too, but you never know. If it doesn't get enough volume, enough buy, then the shorts could take it too as well. So yeah, I'm still not ready to go like buck wild on the altcoins. I'm happy making the gains with Bitcoin right now and just, stacking the money that I'm making and waiting for the perfect time to swing trade altcoins and making sure I have a bag, right? I'm swing trading Bitcoin and stacking BTC. And then I basically am swing trading ICP, but I got in at like 579 last night and I'm up a little bit, but I might even bail. Like the risk doesn't look, it might not, I feel like the risk may not be worth the reward. So I'm not aping into any coins right now. I didn't panic sell anything that I believe in. Even I've got Whiff. I still got Pepe. I didn't panic sell anything. We'll see where we go. I did sell Solana at one point, and I bought it back like a buck and $2 more. I may have lost like a little bit of Solana, but then I bought some more back too when it dipped to try to even it out. So I still hold like 900 sold. We'll see where it goes. And yeah. And so at this point, for me, it's about maintaining mental stability, buying the bottoms in macro. With macro, I buy Bitcoin on the macro. I mean, I can't believe they moved the fear to 49 because it makes you think like, damn, I didn't buy 10. What was I thinking? You know what I mean? Like 10 was like Like you may not get 10 again. Maybe they dump us again and we revisit. You never know. But dang, man, they flip it's all the way back to 49. So I know when it gets low. Yesterday was 32 too. The prices were pretty cheap. And there's a chance we could stay above this 200 May. I'm like, I just posted to Twitter. I said the weekly is in a bullish uptrend, saying, say I'm lying. Like that is a bullish uptrend. Am I wrong? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to be a regular trader guy, like here. I'm not trying to be, a genius. Is that not a bullish uptrend right now at the present moment? I mean, looks like a macro bullish uptrend. And usually you'll take this next leg up. That gives you like $138,000 Bitcoin somewhere by August. Possible. It could make an inverted head and shoulder, which would take longer. Maybe, sorry, maybe like more like this, because then we would break out. Yeah, maybe still hit the same target around the same time. Maybe October or November, though, of 2025, which would be on par. You'd want to be actually hit the all-time high somewhere October through December and then have a bear market, right? And that hidden bullish divergence on the weekly just keeps calling my name. So yeah, I don't get too crazy. The coins that I still bought at the super, super lows, like, right? Those prices are, we bought Solana and Sui. Like a lot of things I bought, actually, the prices are still higher than where I bought them at. So it's not the worst because we got in super a long time ago. And so I'm just kind of, I'm actually maintaining, having a blast. I've been having a blast trading Bitcoin. The volatility has been in my favor, and the price action has been doing like what my system loves. So it's just been coming right to me. It's been doing, and I've just been taking what the market gives me and having a blast. And when the altcoins come back, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have money to swing trade them. See, the old me would be like, I gotta buy everything at the bottom. I'll buy the things that I got to at the bottom, like Bitcoin and the key things that I care about. Maybe even a little Cardano. But I still got Cardano from 2 cents and 8 cents. Like I'm not selling that, and I'm still holding that too. So as long as I stay patient with a clear mind, everything's working out, right? It wasn't fun. The altcoins took a beat down. Watching Solana go up and down like that, it's definitely taking a toll. It's not easy. But like I said today on the live stream, and I truly believe this, when I write a book about my life, which I will, if there wasn't some hard chapters in that book, then no one wants to read it, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it was simple. I just put my money in crypto and everything worked out. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. And you take your time and you work at it. And for me, it took a lot longer than most. It took years. But at least I got where I needed to be eventually with a level head, a game plan, a strategy. And that's the key too. A lot of people are like, why are you losing? Let's just go over the main reasons why people are losing. Because, you know, if you're struggling, like if today you lost money when there was simple flags that all you had to do was stop loss, take profit, and let it do its thing. But again, if you lost money today, which is okay, I the old me probably would have lost money on 10 days like today. So it's okay. That's what got me here, right? The losing and the pain was what made me execute now at the level that I do. I learned. But if you lost today, here's the main reasons why you were losing as a trader today. Number one, you don't post a lot of charts in the trading group. You spend time chatting when you don't spend time grinding on your charts. You got to post more charts and say, hey, what do you think of this? You got to be open minded to be insecure about your charting and be okay with people saying, hey, maybe you could, let people see that you're just learning. It's okay. So you got to post more charts so you can get more feedback. Number one. Number two, you got to demo trade more if and again, everyone's like, oh, but it's not real money. It doesn't, but you got to find a strategy. It's not like real money. It's like a video game. Like, do you want to beat level 5? You try over and over again until you finally beat it. That's how you should demo trade. You should say, okay, I'm going to find a strategy and I want to attempt to trade it 100 times and write down what happens in a diary each time I trade. And then you can say, well, I won 60 out of 100 of those trades. And had I used a bigger amount of money in my own, then do it again. And once you have a data set written down, then you're going to be like really confident to go use your own money because you're going to say, hey, listen, this is what would have happened had I used my money and I did these things. And then you can begin to replicate that in the real world. That's the key. That's why, so demo trading is not really about, oh, I know it's not real money. I need to learn the real lessons. It's not really about that. It's about, can you do something? Like today, I met someone that never traded and I was talking to them and I was like, I said, what someone should really do, I was like, is they should take 20 bucks if they're going to trade leverage, if they really want to, right? Demo trade a little bit, but once you're ready for regular money, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I would do. I would take 20 bucks. I'd take like 500 bucks that I knew, and I wouldn't put in the leverage account completely, but I'd be like ready to have it in there. I have it in like the spot account. And I'd say, okay, here's my $500. I'm willing to lose it all learning how to trade leverage. And I would put 20 bucks in the leverage account and I would attempt to turn it into $40, right? And I'm sure I would probably lose the first time and lose the $20. And I'd put 20 bucks in again and I would attempt to turn it into $40. And maybe I'll do it 10 times and I'll lose it 10 times and I'm down 200, but that's fine. I think eventually out of the four or three or like the 500 bucks I put aside, you'd hope, right? After 20 times, maybe you might end up doubling or start, at least you turn it into 30 bucks. Then you go back down to 20, then, right? Then you turn to 30, then you turn to 35, and. But the point is, you should do that until you can double the $20. Once you can double the $20, you're ready to do it with 50 bucks, right? Then 100, then 500, and then $1,000. And then you manage $1,000 account and see if you can turn it to 2,000, right? And once you do that, you can manage 2,000 and you level up as you go. Look at me, like I've traded and I've made some big money and I've swung some big positions in that, but like I'm still not ready to do what I've done spot leverage yet too, like because I want to manage the risk properly as I go up each time. Like my biggest trade now, I think it was like a $500,000 trade. I think one time I had $1 million trade open for like a little bit, and it was like I closed it for like 150 bucks or something because I couldn't handle it. But I'm going to slowly work myself into those positions over time. Like right now, the position sizes that I use are insane compared to what I used to use. I could never have handled them even 5 years ago. But you just do it level by level. And as long as you don't pressure yourself, see that the trader that I love is the trader that says, I got a job. I found you. I see what you talk about. I'm listening to you. I know it's going to take time. I joined your group. I took the class. I'm doing everything I can to get it to meet you as far as I can. And I'm going to really commit to watching you every day. I'm going to ask people in the group. I'm going to post my charts and I'm going to see where this next 3 months takes me. And I'm going to learn. Right. And then there's other person's like I've had one-on-ones with someone who's like, listen, like I remember having a one-on-one with someone and they were like, oh, I got a business partner, but we split ways. But I'm going to get I'm going to get my part of the business from him. And then I'm going to use that to trade. And I just, I wanted to link up with you so I could use your strategies. And already I red flagged. I was like, all right, this guy's getting a sum of money and he thinks he can like cash in on it pretty fast. And then our next session, he was like, oh, it turned out I didn't get the money that I thought I was going to get. So now I need to use trading to make the money now. And I was just like, I already knew like this person was setting themselves up. It's basically like saying, this is exactly what this person's doing. They're saying they're going to a driving coach and they're saying, I want to learn how to race a car, you know, and you can teach me how to race cars. And then they're saying maybe there's like, oh, I'll have a few weeks off of work because I'm getting the severance pay so I can really learn. And then they find out, oh, you know what? Like I didn't get the money I was getting, so I just got to win the next race now. So like, can you just teach me in a week? And like, I'm gonna race as fast as and it's just like that person's what's gonna happen to that person? Like they're really gonna crash and burn. You know what I mean? I'm trying to use a metaphor for like racing a car, but so basically they're saying I'm gonna go into the next race, but I'm not gonna practice I'm not gonna have any practice behind me, and I'm gonna go 90 miles an 205 miles an hour, and so Trading's similar to that. Like you got to take, it's step by step. You can't force the learning process. Everyone that I see force the learning process usually pays more heavily in the end than if they had just done the right thing over time, you know? So, and I wish there was a faster, easier way. And soon it will probably be AI. And of course you can have bots and stuff, but if I think it's fun to learn things. I don't know if that will get outdated. Everyone would just be like, well, I got bots. Why would I learn anything if I can just get a bot to do it for me? But to me, I mean, these testimonials that have been rolling in, and I got to not only do I want to shout these people out specifically on when we're all here together, because I think this is what the group's about. But look, join the trading group on Monday and already paid for itself via the Lifers alerts, up 700 in 3 days. This guy's the man. Very informative. Gain a bunch of value just from his daily live streams. Excited to see where this takes me. Steve Trees. I mean, that's like one of the coolest, testimonials I've ever had. It's light. It's easy. It's like a normal guy. Not a lot of like, jumped in, made some money. It's going well. We'll see where this goes. Right. I like this one too. Look, I joined 5 months ago, and just using the simple live revision with the first week, I earned about 2 years worth of subscription fees. The first week, he had 2 years of the subscription. I also joined the Purple Crew to learn how to use leverage properly. These two things together will literally change everybody's life. So people join my group, they make enough money in my group to join Leverage Mastery. You see what I'm saying? Like I helped them pay for Leverage Mastery by my these two things together. Like if you just took the two signals I gave today on the 15 minute, like bang. And even if you just follow Sam's trading with notifications and trade setups, he gives you all day. That itself will pay for the subscription over and over again. That, of course, if you didn't want to use the tools here that they teach to do the trade yourself. So, of course, you can just be lazy and still win by following the moves that are posted. Or you can take the time and learn the stuff and make the same trade Sam and everybody else is doing without seeing him do it. That's the goal. Like I said, the first week, bells and whistles started going off in my head and everything just made sense. After that, the TA has become simple, and the only issue is fighting my old habits, thinking I have a better way. If any of us had a better way, then you would not be reading this. Take the time to learn the system that is taught here and forget everything you thought you knew about trading. Do this and you will win. He's right. Like a lot of people, they come to my group and they're like still they're in like three other groups and they're still like, they got their foot in the door and they don't understand how complex and amazing my system is when you let it take over, man. Like you got to just let it take over. And I guess everyone has a different system and everyone thinks their system is great. But my system is the retest that those guys use. My system, it's almost like encompasses almost everything in a way, right? Subscribe 2 days quarterly, $240. Yesterday was 78, today was 277. Already in the plus. Love y'all. And so, this guy used the free content to go to Disneyland from a third world country. Like, you know, I, I'm head over heels. So the bottom call was insane. Don't know how he does it. The consistency of the trade calls is unmatched. Like we've had a great few weeks, and the live calls have been hot. It's been awesome. I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I've been loving the feedback. And I like to see that people pay for the subscription with the knowledge that they get. I don't want to drain people. I want people to. I believe that this service should pay for itself if you do it right. If you do it right. Again, I can't say that's guaranteed because I don't. Not everyone's going to be disciplined. Not everyone's going to do the things that I need them to do. That I desire them to do. Try to stop using that word at all times. So we got a pretty good handle on what I see for Bitcoin, right? Is just that 1 hour is doing some type of pullback. And we want to make sure the daily stays above the 200 MA. And there could be a really good entry here tonight. Like there may be a one last resort entry before, Asia gets in here. This could pump up. We might go side. We'll see what happens. I gotta keep my eye on it. That might be the entry right there in that wick, It really could. So I'll be watching Bitcoin and kind of tracking it. And then I have token metrics here. Let me just jump on into my MetaMask, make sure we're all set. Get into the right account. I just asked if there's any what could 100x. Dogs AI leverages AI driven trading with deflationary model and a strong community. Qbetics is making waves with AI and blockchain integration, promising real world applications and significant ROI potential. Solaxi combines meme coin appeal with real utility, addressing Solana's congestion and fee issues, and has pre-sale success. And BTC Bull token mirrors Bitcoin's cap and reward holders, adding a viral meme coin twist. They're gaining traction and could be worth watching. Interesting. They could be trash too, as well, right? So take that with a grain of salt. I'm just, I don't blindly take any information. I always reassess my own thoughts on it and see where it goes. Wanted to keep that somewhere where I could find it again. Okay, cool. And let's just see the market. Turn bearish, book of memes. Did you buy? Yeah, bullish. Pepcat. Yeah, I mean, they bullish compared to what, right? You know what I mean? And Pancake has been hot. Epic Cash, Fracture, just Quam plane. And there's still just not a huge driver into altcoins yet. You could definitely make money right now, but you're going to look really hard and find the hot ones. And there's going to be some things that move. It's not going to be, there's always some gainers, but it's going to be a lot more difficult. That's all. We like to get in when it's a lot less difficult and it's more simple to get in there. That's all. So as a trader, this one EduChain, but that's just like Bridge USDC. I don't know. Moss, Lens, Aero Labs, Games, Viet Gems, CZ's, Dog, Broccoli still in the mix. This one ALI is on my radar there. I like, seems to be marketing. Lambda is an oldie but goodie. Belisium, Pythia, Ask Jimmy, AI Rig Complex, Banker Coin, X Empire. Hmm. And we'll just post these to the group. And Tutorial actually has been getting some love too. But this just keeps you privy to what's hot and what's going on. And you can see there's really no bullish trading signals right now, too. These are just kind of the coins to pay attention to in token metrics. As you can see, I'm not that enthusiastic for alts at the present moment. I do think if you're into buying the bottoms of like really low cap gems, it could be a really good time. I mean, you're definitely not buying the top. That's just not my strategy as it used to be. I am more conservative than I used to be. But again, if I had only like $1,000 to my name, I probably would be looking at something with a very low market cap. But again, there's also a good chance it goes to zero. So that's the conundrum of the 100x, the scan for the 100x. As I told you guys, like after this rally too, I mean, we'll see what happens at the end of the rally. Like it could just be like, yeah, we just had to hold longer than we thought, and we all got rewarded again for the same behavior. But it definitely was more of a swing traders rally. Like, had we swung trade more, and I started learning that too, and I started just taking swing trading gains and just in and out, not being as okay. What happens to the rest of the market? Just being like, you know what? I'm just going to take this one day at a time and every time I'm up, I'm going to take chunks off the table. What I did is whenever we were up huge and the market was getting really frothy, I found something to take profits on. And I got in the habit of doing it because I knew that when the market shifted, I wasn't going to know, it was always going to kind of throw you a little bit. And you could get into that, oh, but we may still have more bullishness, right? But if you always take profit, then you'll end up taking profit. So I learned, and that hit me one day. I got to talk to myself, and my brain was like, oh my God, you're never going to know perfectly where the top is every time. I said, but if you get in the habit of taking profits, then that will be your habit. And then years from now, you'll be a profitable trader because you'll just always have some money to get you through. And I was like, you're right, Sam. I said, so all I got to do is constantly take profits when the market's hot over like maybe like 25% of my positions, 30 if I want to. And that's what I did. Like when I was up in things, I took the money off the table. When I made a big trade on Depot Protocol, I took the money and bought a kitchen, right? When I was up on Trump coin, I took the money. When I was up on some other coins, I took the money. When I was up trading in leverage, I would send the USDT to a wallet, use it to pay mortgages, use it to, you know what I mean? Like take it off the table. And I've learned to just, I'm going to be a pro trader for the next 20 years of my life. Now I'm solidified as this is what I'm definitely doing. It's been 10 years now. I'm not going anywhere. My first 10 years were like, can you do this? The second 10 are like, I'm coming up, finishing my second 10. Like, yes, I can. And now the third 10 years is like really the promised land. It's the time where now you get to put together all your years and really, really maximize. And you should have some more gains behind you and some more capital. And really that you're the 20 to 30-year period as a trader should be the golden era, really. You know what I mean? When you think about it. Because now you have the discipline, the knowledge, and the capital. Again, markets could be different. I always equate it to surfing. You don't go to the beach and just tell the waves you're going to surf them. You wait for the wave. That's right. You could sit in the ocean for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes a few minutes. It depends. But you wait for their wave. And trading's like that. We wait for the setup that makes sense, and then we ride it, right? And you keep waiting for your setup until it comes into play. And that's really the best part about it. And you're in control. It's the worst and the best part about it. So again, why do people keep losing in trading? Got off track there. Number one, you don't post enough charts in the trading group. So you're not really, you don't have second nature of how to draw your flags and how to look for measured moves. And so you're missing that, right? Number two, you don't have a setup that you go after each time. Like you kind of trade whatever's around here and there. Like for me, like the 21 has to be touching price. The stochastics 90% of the time should be curving. And if I can get some support and resistance and point of control, I'm looking for things. And again, I give you this 9-point checklist if you take my beginner's course. Also, I don't think a lot of people realize, and maybe they don't take it, but if you go into read first, right when you jump in, it says, welcome to the 99. If you're new here, right? There's first watch content. This will help you gain the most from the group. Next, Crypto Live is prepared to offer you this free trading class. Exclusive. This is like the trading course condensed to get you going. Indicators that I'm using. Like, I think I don't think a lot of people are watching this. Like if I go to YouTube, like how many people have seen this? And there's been, if I want to, right now, there's like, oh, dang, there are 2,000 people. Okay, 6,000 views in a year. Um, but just want to make sure people are watching this video when they first get in the group because I believe it can accelerate you right off the bat. And I just think people come in and they're like, yeah, but they don't realize I've thought it through. And I'm like, how can I help this person the most? I'm like, well, if they watch this video, then they do this, and then they do that, everything should come into play for them. And if you make gains like I did today, like don't stay up all night looking for the greatest, like take a break. It's okay. Just like it's okay to trade all day and push your brain to the limit, it's okay to turn off and decompress your brain. You got to give yourself a break. All right. So the main reason people are losing in trades, they don't post enough. So they're not like, they're not taking second nature with their charts. It's number two, you don't have a setup that you go after over and over again. Like you're just kind of aimlessly throwing darts at the charts. You can't do that. Like there's got to be real rules why you get inside of a trade, and you can't break them, right? And number three, you're trading at the worst times. Like you're deciding, oh, I'm off work on Saturday afternoon, so that's when I'm going to trade. That's like when you're likely going to lose the most amount of money. I laid it out for the trading group recently, but write this down. I'll say it again. Here is my trading week. And this is how it goes for me about, I'd say 90% of the time. There are exceptions to every rule. Okay. So there's going to be an exception to the rule where I say I don't trade Sundays. And then like 2 Sundays ago, we had one of our biggest trades ever, right? The market showed me we were above it. See, it doesn't matter what day we get above the 200 man, a 1 minute or a 15 minute, I'm going to trade it. That's why I had to trade this. I didn't care that we got stopped out finally because that's my signal. We were above the 200. The 21 was coming. Fine. Maybe I could have just stopped trading there when I realized it didn't play out. But it could have still played out. Like as it flagged out, there was a chance that this turned into the flag. And we were on the 21 above the 200 MA. I'm going to trade that. I'm going to trade that 100 times out of 100. Every time I see that, I'm going to trade it. If I get stopped out, I'm going to be happy that I got stopped out because it's going to say I stuck to my rule. My rule is I trade a flag above the 200 MA when the Stokes are low and the 21's touching. 90% of the time, I'm hitting that. If I don't hit it, it's not me, it's them. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of having a system too. When you lose, it feels good to lose because you know you did what you were supposed to do, right? You're supposed to lose when you do the right thing. Just like you're supposed to win. Like now, if I did something random, like, every once in a while, like a few months back, I'd be like, oh, we're about to cross this. I'm going to buy here. And that would be called front running the signal. And then we'd bobble around and get hit off for $100 for no reason. And I'm like, man, I knew I should have waited for me to break above the 200 MA and waited for confirmation with the 21 and waited for the flag. But I didn't want to do that. I was impatient. I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. And I wanted to feel the rush of the trade before the trade was there. So even again, I'm very rare I do that now. I'm very like my discipline has gotten very strong the last few weeks. And I I'm pretty stone cold. I'm selling the top away from the 21. I'm getting in when I'm supposed to. I'm not over trading. I'm taking, you could say today I made 9 trades, but like I just took what the market gave me. Every time the market showed me one of my models that looked good, I took it. And again, I execute great. I can short and stuff, but I execute great when the reversal is in play. When I can see that we're making higher lows and we're starting an uptrend, my system just works great. We hit 21s, we pump. We hit 21s, we pump. Stochastics reset. And like you'll just see me chew it up. And if you learn my system, stochastics to the 21, price action in the flag, 21-day moving average, stochastics curving, low stochastics, 21, bang. Sell when we're away from the 21 with high stochastics. I'm out. Repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Choose the time frame that you want to use it on and stick to that time frame. I like the 15-minute a lot, right? Like tonight, it's going to be the 1 hour. We want to see how the 1 hour plays out. We'll be true to it. It should bounce, come up, and we should see maybe it takes 9 or 10 hours, and then we should see a flag. If we're bullish, if we're bearish, it'll just keep dumping. It'll lose the 200, and this is a fake flag, and it's never going to happen anyway. So who cares? If we're bullish, this is going to flag out in some way, shape, or form. Pull the 21 towards it. Maybe stay above that smooth moving average and the 200 MA, and then it's going to boom. And then the stochastics are going to like double bottom and reset. The RSI might come a little lower, and then you're going to be ready for your next move. You can even set support or resistance. You're going to say, all right, previous resistance is now support. We can't, I got to stay back above 83.5, 85.3, And I already see my next trade. Like I show you guys, I show you the trades, and that's why I'm in the group. I'm always like, here's our next projection before the trade's even there. Like I'm looking for the trade. Like I know the trade. I already know the trade I want to take because I've watched assets make bullish price action for years now. Thousands of times of my hours of my life have been spent watching what price action does. So I know that when we're bullish, you'll make a bullish flag, you'll pull the 21 and you'll pump. I mean, that's how I've seen it happen on thousands of assets or, over time. So the odds are that's going to happen and we're going to, and then the mesh should move. So I already know that if we pull the 21, if price action gets tight, that 92,000 is likely coming. If we lose this and we start to philander, then I know, okay, we'll reset. Maybe there's a bear flag here, and then we're going to have to short down to 79K. And I definitely know this idea is a wrap. So if we lose the smooth moving average, if we lose the 200 SMA on the 1 hour, then all of this is for nil. There's no reason to trade it. But if we make the flag and the flag plays out, so why not project the flag? You know, it's like doing the right thing anyway, because why not? Because it just might help you out. You know what the flag's like to me is this kind of funny, but it's like in football. You know when they're gonna they're gonna kick. It's like the third down, and they're pretty sure they're gonna kick the field goal, and they've already made the decision that they're not gonna do anything stupid with the ball. But what do? They go up to the. If you watch football, maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about. In American football, sorry, pigskin, because you guys are like we call football soccer. But and what they do is they do a soft count and they make like they're gonna run to see if the other team will play off sides. Every once in a while, someone on the other side rolls over and they because it's like it's 3rd and 2 and they get the first down because it's a 5-yard penalty. And now they can sometimes that can buy you a touchdown, right? And I find that similar to the flag. Like you draw the flag because hey, maybe they fall over the line and give you the 5 yards. Maybe they fall into there and they give me the flag. If later on tonight that flag's full, I got a trade already waiting for me. If I don't project the flag, then it doesn't exist, right? But if I project the flag before it happens, now it's quantum. I'm waiting for them to fill my reality. I'm basically giving reality a path to take. I'm saying take that path. And if it takes that path, now I know the next step of probability is more likely in my favor. And I just love doing this. And then I always do it when the Stokes are high, knowing that the Stokes have to reset. And then I want to see the Stokes kind of, curve and do something down here and hang out. And if I have curving Stokes to 21 touching, I know I'm ready to rock again. And in this way, I'm setting up my trades before they happen. And then I'm seeing them play out in real time with the stochastics RSI. And then this also tells me when I'm bullish or bearish. And I've gone over this on the stream on this live stream before too, but it's simple to me. Like price action mimics the RSI, right? Like look, price went up. You can see here, like price went up, down, up, down, up. Look at the stochastics. Price went up, down, up, down, up. It did exactly what the stochastics were doing. So stochastics and price are normally in unison. If price goes up and comes down, price goes up and comes down, price goes up and comes down. The stochastics RSI will come up and go down, come up and go down, come up and go down. This is our key to making money. Why? Because in every data set, we need a constant, a control. This is how scientists figure out anything in life, right? How is this not science? We watch a data set every day and we basically, we describe it. We write down the differences that happen. That's what you're doing as a trader. And then eventually you're taking that data set to figure out what's going on, right? So stochastics RSI does the same thing every time. Eventually, though, price comes up, and then what does it do? It stays up here, and it makes a bull flag. Sometimes a bull pennant, but let's just say, and then the stochastics come up, but while the price goes sideways, the stochastics reset. Now, we know the stochastics now have momentum back to the upside, but price never revisited these lows. And then usually there's a support and resistance flip there on price action, and then boom. It's so simple, and that's when the 21 touches price, and then the stochastics are ready to rock. Like it's so like I developed this to me it's just like duh and you can do this on any asset in the world. So like anytime you want to get into something like you should wait for the Stokes. You should find so I look for high stochastics all the time and set up traps and trades with alerts and get ready to nail it. You know what I mean? Anyway, and people will try to mimic us and steal our systems and do our things, but no one will work as hard as us. So they'll all fall to the wayside. You know what I mean? And there's really one lifer, man. So have no fear. These are the tried and true strategies, man, that I show and improve over time. And they play out because they're right in front of you. Like this tells you whether you should take it or not in 5 to 8 hours from now. And we could be wrong. Maybe it just dumps out of nowhere and then none of this happens. That's okay. That means that the quantum reality that we chose was not fulfilled. And so why should we take it? There's no probability there now. We only want to take the trade if the probability exists. And the probability only exists if we play into the probability that we've laid out. In this way, we don't take trades for any reason. We only take trades that we have firmly thought out beforehand. And this is a model of mine. Like, just like the money printer, this is my, I do that model. I do all these models, like 21 touching, curve curling, bang. There might even be some little bearish. Sometimes there's hidden bullish in there. You'll see it on the RSI. So we're waiting for this to kind of flag out, in my humble opinion. No crazy trades to be made right now. We sold the local top and now we're resetting to look for our next entry. That's how I'm looking at it. And so Bitcoin's pretty much cut and dry for me. I wouldn't go crazy into altcoins right now. As you can see, there's not a lot. Let's see if there's anything in the last hour. Yeah, right now everyone's just kind of, Trump talks at a crypto summit tomorrow. We'll see what he says. We'll see what impact that has on the market. But yeah, right now I just see altcoins, there's certain altcoins that are getting above their 200 MAs. There's certain flags out there. I posted a few things here and there. See this looked, good and hit. But again, we just had the Fed hike. Tomorrow is going to be a lower volume Thursday. I wouldn't go like too crazy into altcoins. And yeah, and that will conclude the weekly live stream. Nothing too crazy this week. But yeah, execute, man. I just use the same strategies over and over again. I did run a clinic today. I appreciate you saying that. I really feel like I did, man. I felt like I was on the basketball half court, just blah, cha, 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 blah, just blah. It was like I was wet, man. My wife came in. I was like, "Yo, I made another G, baby." She's like, "Damn, you killing it today, honey." I love it, man. I sit there. My kids are home from school, so my kids were around all day. I was around my wife, and I still fasted too. Like I don't get into that too much. People judge me and all that, but I still fasted. I didn't eat or drink nothing, and I nailed all my trades, man. Like my mom was so clear. My mom's been clear. The fasting's got my mind clear. People say, "Oh, don't you do, I even work out in the morning and sweat." And you're like, "How?" You know what I've been doing? I got a trick. I got a little trick that I learned. It's maybe I don't know if I'm cheating, if I call it cheating, but Celtic salt, it's made of a crystalline structure, right? Specifically. And why? And your cells are made of a crystalline structure, right? And what am I getting at? Well, at like 4 in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll take Celtic salt. I'll pinch it, put it over my tongue, and I'll chug water. And I'll take like, I only have like 2 cups of water this big. But I'm telling you, man, every day that I do that, I don't drink anything all day, and I still got saliva in my mouth at like 6 o'clock later on that day because I was able to. What happens is the Celtic salt lets you absorb the water into your cells at a very high level. It really does, and it keeps you hydrated like inside your cell. So your cells have water in them all day, and like you know. So I just before I go to bed at night and at like 4 in the morning, I just drink some salt water, and I'm telling you, man, that's like no cramps, and I'm good all day. Like it's been my little key to this time around. I didn't know it the last the last few times, But funny, there's a guy in St. John's. I don't know. He's a guy in St. John's. He's fasting for Ramadan, and he's got it. They're gonna play the tournament tomorrow, right, against Omaha. It's their first time in the NCAA since 2019, and first time to win the conference championship. They got Rick Pitino. The guy has won the championship twice with 2 other teams. He's one of the best. Some say he's the best coach out right now. He's 72 years old, right? He's got years of experience. The guy's a legend. And I guess they're giving this guy an IV before the game. Like, so he doesn't drink, but he gets an IV. Is that, is that cheating? It's so funny, right? But like, he's like, hey, he's not going to put anything in his mouth, but he's got to play the game, right? Like, you can't let his teammates down. Right? I just thought that's funny, man. Like, basketball players that fast during Ramadan. Like, but, keep whatever you believe in true to you, right? And don't let anyone tell you, you know, I don't know what makes you tick or what you want to do, you know. So yeah, and your world is your world, and your beliefs is your world. Um, I was hitting threes like crazy today. It was on fire. I know, man. Thank you. And everyone, I hope you did make gains. I hope a lot of people got to make gains. I hope I'm not rubbing gains in everyone's face. I hope there was a lot of people. I know there's some people out there that probably lost today, that are hurting today, and then are watching our gains and they're like, damn. But that's the pain. That pain starts the process. I remember being a kid and there was guys better at skateboarding than me. And I tried to do what they did and I fell and I busted my knee. And I wasn't that good. And I went home with that want and that desire to be good like they were. But I was gonna have to fall a few times to get as good as them, right? They've already rolled their ankle. That's why they were that good. Like they've been through it. So trading's the same as everything in life. You never expect to be good at anything in life unless you put in the work. That's another thing. Why are people bad at trading? They didn't put in the work and they think they should be good at it. And they're depressed in their first month. Oh, I lost money in my first month of trading. I lost. Of course you lost. It's your first month. Come on now. Like, that's why you should allocate a small amount of money and see if you can get it first, not try to see if you can win it first. People that see that try to win it first, like it's a casino, like I'm gonna join Sam's group and I'm gonna turn 2 grand into 12 grand, and then they get liquidated, right? It doesn't happen so easily. And the idea is, to learn, like once you're in tune with the 21 and the 200, right? I was diagnosed with gainitis and I still have to double mask. They won't let me anywhere. I got dots all over me. They smell me and they know I got gainitis. It's like leprosy. I was diagnosed with gainitis. They won't even let me on the bus. Damn gainitis. Dude, it's true though, man. It's funny. As funny as it is, right? We say gainitis in this group because a lot of people catch it. It's a joke, but it's really not even a joke. A lot of jokes have like there's truth in every joke, right? Like the Irish, we drink a lot, man. There's a lot of jokes about the Irish drink. Yes, like I saw, I was born. I just pictured me 3 years old. My dad's giving me sips of beer. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Irish drink, man. It's true. Like it's not a stereotype. Uh, and so the Irish are the one people that'll agree with the stereotypes. Everyone else gets all pissed. We're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It is what it is. Um, and it's funny. But the whole point is people say gainitis in my group because people really do catch it, man. Like it's as funny as it is, like people do catch it. Like they actually start making gains. Like they join the group, they get with what we're doing, they put in the work. People that put in the work quickly and there's a group of people that are putting in the work and grinding. And if you catch those group in the group, you get swept up in like the discipline. And like if you do that, like I see people in a couple months like really start to rock because we have a mastermind going and it's getting better as the years go on. And we're getting better at pulling new people in because now you got like before we didn't have a Dave Angel, we didn't have Christian, right? We didn't have all these people that cared so much, and we didn't have Jamal. Jamal's been with me for years now. So like Jamal sees you falling off, he's in the group, he's gonna type in there, he's gonna say, "Oh, yo, my man, like, let me show you Sam's way here. Like, let me show you this thing that I'm doing. Like, let me, and it's not like 1,000 other people's stuff every other group's got people saying stuff from all over the place. My group's like regiment. Like they see the guy in the tie, the suit. Like there's more of like a maestro thing going on in my group, right? Like people are listening to the leader. I think there's because I'm a little older, because there's more of the way I speak and the way we do the live. The group has a little more of a regiment to it that keeps people in line, right? And it's good because what it does is it helps the beginner pick up on it quicker because everyone's in tune. It's like a machine, and we're all helping the person get into the grind, get into the movement, right? Ski and Rooster, Richard, he's been with me for a while. I've seen you people, man. You guys have been with me for a long time, right? I was in a trading group for 4 years, you know. In the first 2 years, it was on and off. The last, or maybe 5 years, and the 3 years were like hardcore. And, by the fifth year, I really started to get it. I really started to get it. But it took time for me. It took me a long time. It wasn't easy. Like I didn't know how to find my divergences. I only found hidden bullish. I couldn't find anything else. And again, it was okay because it was a pretty strong divergence and it helped out over time. But it was, uh, so this stuff takes time. You know, and you'll start. I do things now that I can't believe I'm doing without even thinking of it. And the subconscious mind does take over, but you got to feed it a lot of information. But eventually the subconscious mind will take over. And when the subconscious mind takes over, it's great because the more you use the subconscious, the less your emotions get involved. Because the emotions are pretty attached to the frontal cortex, right? What you're thinking on them now. So when you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, well, don't do that. Oh, why? Oh, now and there's the emotion, right? But when you just keep doing, like, have you ever jumped on a bike and got emotional about it? But when you first rode a bike, I think you were. I think we all were. We thought we were going to fall. We got scared. Dad, I don't want to. And there was a lot of emotions there. Trade, that's a great metaphor that I just hit on. Trading's very similar. Like you're riding a bike still, and like you're getting a lot of emotions that I don't get. I just get on the bike. I just open the trade now. I just see the thing and boop a doop. I don't think about it. I just do it. Today I just did. I didn't even know what I did today. I couldn't even remember what I did. I just did. I just did. I don't even know. My subconscious mind did it all. I just saw the trades at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like I just kept standing here. I stood in the right place and let my brain do the work. But I spent years to get there, right? And that's like, and that's I think that what comes with. I seen guitarists, right? Like I don't even know how they doing it. They're doing, and then you can tell they're like laughing at a girl, they're smiling, they're picking up a drink halfway through the set, and during it, coming right back into the thing. How the heck are they doing that? Like, how the heck are they doing that? Like, because it's muscle memory. Some this is their subconscious mind at one point. It can't be. They can't really be using their front mind. Like it's just going in the background, and they're living it. They're like on a. It's almost hypnosis. Like you're in a moment. You know. I think that's why musicians love it. They go into a state of almost hypnosis. Like when they're done with the set, like and then they go home and it's like that's why even the guys that don't make tons of money when they're playing with a group of people like that experience alone takes them outside of themselves, right? It's like they get to get locked into this other place in their mind, you know. We do that as traders, you know. That's a similar place we go to in our brain. You're trying to find the same repetition, you know. You're going after, you know, this pattern, a process in your mind that you're reassessing over and over again. So do I have the screen share on right now? So I'm just watching Bitcoin now. I would flag this 15-minute out and see, you know, it might bounce here, and that could be the low. It may not. It could do, but this could be the low, and it could start to make a flag that could eventually turn up to 91K tonight. Like there's a chance. So it's definitely worth watching how oversold this is. There's a little bit of hidden bullish there. See? And it's very pronounced, which is telling me that we could break this high before we break these lows. That's what hidden bullish divergence says. It says you'll break this high before you break the low that began the divergence. And with that, I will be out. God bless you all. Have a great night. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your support, everyone. If we get out of this one and we rip back to 100K, man, like we'll be like bandits, man. Like we'll be like they took everybody out this market. Only the strong survived on this one. They really mentally they batter people mentally, man. They took them off this market. It was not for the weak. If you're still around, if you're still kicking it, you're a real lifer. You're like me. You're a warrior. Like you don't give a dang. Like you're that person when the tsunami came, like you hugged a tree and like you when it was over, like you were still there. You were like, nah, I'm not going nowhere. Like, you know. So shout out to everyone that's still kicking with me, and God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow on the stream.